What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with the Falynn Guobadia exclusive interview, honey, she did with the Up and Adam YouTube channel, honey, okay? This is gonna be good, honey, okay? It is gonna be good. Y'all make sure to like this video, share this video, honey, and subscribe to Miss Robinson's YouTube channel, honey. You know it goes down over here, okay? So without further ado, you guys, let's get to this interview, honey, because Miss Robinson got a lot of opinions, honey, okay?
Before we get started, I just want to know, are you ready to tell your side of the story?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Alright, so then let's do this.
Let's go.
Alright. Audiences met you and your husband, Simon Guobadia, for the first time in a recent appearance on Bravo's Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Correct.
What was that experience like for you?
It was definitely an experience. It was a learning one. I don't take anything back, you know. I learned a lot about myself, surprisingly. And I would just say it was a very learning experience. I'm happy that I did it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Was this your first time being around a camera crew and having production around you?
Not necessarily around a camera crew. I started acting when I was 9.
Oh.
So no. As far as reality TV goes, yes, that was the first time, and that was a doozy, because it's like everybody knows the rules to a game, and I didn't. So I kind of just had to play by ear and just jump in.
You know, I've heard that a lot about reality television. I hear that people either come on these shows and they act like their most authentic self, and then 9 times out of 10 they eventually get kicked off the show, or they know how to play this chess-like game where they get really good at it, and it keeps them around.
Yeah.
Porsha know how to play the game, honey, with her nasty self.
Wasn't very good at it.
Okay, that's fair. Listen, I always say it takes a very eccentric person to be on reality TV, and good and bad. I mean, you have to be a little all over the place. So if that's not the avenue for you, that's okay.
Yeah.
It makes you, maybe you're not crazy enough to be part of it, right?
Maybe. Just a little bit.
Okay. So after watching you on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, do you feel like there's any part of you that we didn't get to see? Maybe something we don't know about yourself?
Yeah. I am a mother of 3 boys, 14, 13, and 8. I'm
wow.
an artist. I love to paint. I am a spiritual gangster. And I am a philanthropist. Everything I do is to inspire those women in need.
Wow. All right. I like that, spiritual gangster.
Yeah.
All right.
Very much so.
Well, last time we spoke, you told me that Bravo has been knocking on your door for the past few seasons to be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, and I'm sure everyone else is too, what made season 13 different?
Actually, Simon convinced me to do the show as a test to my spiritual growth. He believed.
Simon convinced her to do the show as a test for her spiritual growth. Child, that lets me know Simon, was up to no good from day one, honey, okay? Especially if he ends up engaged to one of the castmates on the show.
That I were strong enough at that time to be able to handle, whatever it is that reality TV may throw at me. And I believed him. I had faith in what my husband saw in me that we don't necessarily see within ourselves sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I took his word for it, and I said, fuck it, let's do it.
That's interesting that he thought that would be good for your spiritual growth to join a reality TV show.
Right.
I guess I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it was just I think what he was trying to tell me was that it was more of a test. And it tested me. For sure.
I think we all saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you also spoke to me about the fact that production came into your home, it wasn't what you thought. You sort of, and I hope it's okay if I'm saying this, but you sort of felt slightly used. If you're all right with this, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. I remember telling the producer specifically what it was that I did not want to happen in my home, when filming in my home. Outside of my house, it's a reality show. It's fine. But when being in my home, where my children lay their heads, I just ask for a little bit of respect. And,
Mm-hmm.
I just, I just feel as though when I say I felt used, what had transpired was everything that I told them in confidence to not happen, happened.
And really quickly, guys, we saw this on season 11 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, where Nene told the camera crew, do not go in her closet. They can film in certain areas of her home. She didn't have a problem with it, but she just did not want, remember, Porsha and Candy in her closet. And I'm bringing this up because I kind of got into it with somebody on social media about it. They kept saying, well, Nene just attacked the cameraman. And no, if somebody tell you to respect their home, then you are to do that. And for Falynn to say, hey, I told them, their boundaries, what I will allow in my home and what I will not. And for them to set up the complete opposite, so I understand, where she's coming from.
Then when it did happen and I reacted in the way that I did, due to being called a racial slur.
And see, I didn't hear LaToya Forever call her a racial slur. I wonder, did they blur it out? Because they kind of made Falynn look like she was overreacting and just swinging at the girl. Yes, LaToya Forever was talking her shit, but it just looked like Falynn was just getting way too geeked up. So, honey, y'all know how they edit, honey. They love to take stuff out, add stuff in. They love to mute things.
In my home several times. I had learned after the show aired that someone had said that I was just too, I don't know the right term to use for it, but I pretty much did not have the look the show wanted for their...
What do y'all think about that? She didn't have the look. She's gorgeous. Shit, she looked better than all them. So what do they mean by that? Maybe she's not with the superficiality of the show,
Okay, so that's interesting to me because at the time that you were a part of the show, you were still very much married to Simon. You still are, but you were married in a relationship, living together.
Right.
You had everything that you need to be on the show. So why now? What could make you look off-brand for the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I think it was just because of the way that I reacted during the Halloween episode. I didn't care at that point. I wasn't going to tolerate someone calling me something such as, what she did, regardless of the situation, regardless of whether there's cameras or not. I didn't care at that point. And I kind of let it slide a few times. The public did not get to see that part, so... And yeah, I got the call saying I was actually going to sign on again for another season. But
wow.
When I didn't get the call, I had asked a friend of mine who's close with the production, what's going on? And they said that they did not like how I reacted and that I damaged the image of the show.
What?
Has production seen the past 12 seasons before this 13th?
Right.
Season? Because you grabbing a golf club and running through your house is not the worst thing that's been on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going off of what I was told.
Now, I bet they want her ass back for season 14. Okay, that's how you know Bravo and them, honey. They full of shiggity, honey. Okay, and I bet you they want her ass back now for this top-notch storyline between her, Simon, and Porsha. Okay.
Right. You know, this did not come straight from Bravo, so I can't say whether or not it's true, but I will say that it came from a reliable source, and it was kind of like a slap in the face, so that's why I say I felt used.
You also said that you were called a racial slur, which can clearly be uncomfortable for anyone. This is the first time I've heard about this, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to ask you, but if it's okay, may I ask what that was?
Ching Chong.
What?
Ching Chong.
Oh, I guess because Falynn is mixed with Asian. LaToya Forever was so damn wrong and corny for that. Just stupid. And by the way, honey, I heard her and her new man, they done already broke up. I'm like, well, goddamn, you already getting a divorce. Now you and the new man broke up too? Child.
Wow.
More than once. I just,
Which is gross.
Yeah. My children, what people did not know is that my children their balcony is right above, right where we were filming at, outside, because we were filming late. And they were gone all day, but filming ran over, and so they came home. And, they heard everything. And
they heard someone calling you Ching Chong?
They heard it. I didn't know at that very moment. At that point, I was just trying to defend my home, but yes, they did hear what was going on. They saw everything. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Well, that's disgusting. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. It sounds like most of your experience on the show was kind of negative.
Oh, by far. And it got worse.
Well, now, I guess what my next question would be is, how did the show impact your life? Was it in more of a positive way or a negative?
I wouldn't say either or. I just feel like it was just a learning experience. That's all I can say. When I always say that if you're not learning, then you're dead. Mm-hmm. So I take the good with the bad and keep it moving.
That's right.
All right. Well, I want to move on to some of the tougher questions that we have. I mean, it's not going to be easy, obviously, but your divorce made headlines this past month, and that was due to the controversy that was surrounding your husband's new engagement to another cast member of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha. You're obviously very aware. May I ask, how did you find out about that?
I found out at the same time as everyone else. I did not know. As a matter of fact, I remember receiving a phone call around 8 a.m. that morning when everything started making headlines, and someone said to me, Simon and Porsha, they're engaged. And I remember arguing with them, and I specifically said, no, my husband is a lot of things, but he would never do that to me.
Girl, shit, he sure fooled you, okay? And that hussy Porsha, she fooled you too. Wow, you guys, she didn't even believe that Simon or Porsha would be capable of doing what they did. That's how much trust and respect she had for both of them. Porsha, girl, boo-boo, oatmeal pie face. Your karma is coming, sis. Okay? It's coming. You don't, treat somebody like this. You don't swim all up in that lady's pool the way that you did. And, from what it sounds like, because I heard more of the interview, the kids, know Porsha too. And, her kids, Falynn's kids, Simon's kid, they know who she is. And they're confused. Like, how did dad just end up, with one of mom's castmates all of a sudden? So it's just shiesty, it's ghetto, it's deplorable, it's disgusting. And Simon and Porsha, honey, you're both going down the wrong road, the wrong damn road. Okay? Y'all both got y'all karma coming.
That is just not who he is. No. And they said, "Are you sure? Because this is what everyone is saying." I said, "I don't give a shit what everyone else is saying.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't do that."
Shit.
But he did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't think it was possible for him to do that, but then once you found out, obviously that was the case. Were you mad? Were you sad? I mean, what was that emotion for you? The raw emotion. What you felt when it was confirmed?
Everyone has their own way to deal with pain. And my husband is hurting just as much as I am.
Mm-hmm.
But this took this took the cake.
I bet it did.
That's the best way I can describe it. I was in pain.
I've never liked that expression, "took the cake," and I really don't like it now that it's in this emotional moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to ask on behalf of everyone who's been reading the headlines about your divorce. There's been so many comments to you, DMs to Porsha. I mean, and people are expecting you, fans are expecting you to act or react a certain way. I guess one of the burning questions that I was talking about earlier is, do you blame Porsha for your divorce?
No. No one has that power over my life, my husband's life, and our...
Wow, what a mature response. Okay? She's very classy for that, you guys.
marriage. No. However, Simon and I were the ones who are married to one another.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones who created a family together and built a life with one another. I blame the both of us. He is to blame. I am to blame. And that is all.
Wow, very mature, honey. Because if it was Miss Robinson, honey, all this shit would be Simon and Porsha's fault. Okay? She is a better woman than me, honey. Okay?
Whatever came after that, I'm not saying it was right. I'm not even saying it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But no one has that power besides Simon.
Well, moving forward, speaking of Simon, a lot of people might assume that due to the combination of Simon's wealth and his age, that you may or may not have been in that marriage for the wrong reasons. I'm sure you're no stranger to hearing this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what would you say to anyone who feels that way?
Well, my prenup would highly suggest otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prenup, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the prenup, you had a very real marriage. You have a blended family.
Yes.
You have beautiful children that you share, right? He has his own, and then you have your own children.
Right.
What was the dynamic like in your marriage?
Outside of our children, Simon and I didn't like to travel as much. Simon loves to travel. He was trying to warm me up to traveling. I hate it. I actually hate flying, so.
Even private?
Yeah, even private. I actually hate private even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's shaky and it's scary. I hate shopping. I hate clothes. I hate the thought of designer clothes too. God, they're expensive.
Child, her and Porsha are opposites, honey. Okay? I really like Falynn, you guys. I like a beautiful, regular, ordinary woman that's not caught up with, superficial standards. And a lot of people keep saying, well, she's no better than Porsha. She was using him too. But the thing of it is, like she said, she got a rock solid prenup with him. So it's not like she was go get a lot from even dealing with him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what Porsha is thinking. Bitch, you ain't about to get that much money either, because Simon really gonna have you sign something, okay?
I'm trying. I really am. But I hate shopping. I hate shoes, bags. It's a lot of work.
Wow.
It's a lot of work to match it and keep it all together. But Simon loved getting me those things. That was...
In my opinion, you guys, what it sounds like, he was trying to make her into somebody she wasn't. And to me, it's kind of coming off like they were very different. Like they were going to eventually grow apart, basically based on their standards for life. Like he likes to travel, she doesn't. He's caught up with the superficial things in life, like Porsha, money, bags, cars, like all that stuff, and Falynn is just a regular girl. She's not really impressed by that. I really like that about her. That makes her very likable and regular.
I feel like that was his love language. Whereas mine is quality time, so I didn't necessarily care for any of that. And I think that's what he loved the most about our marriage. And then outside of that, and there's the kids and, constantly coming up with new ideas, what to do with them and new activities. I'm going to miss that the most.
Were you home most of the time, for the most part, with the kids?
Yeah. I was a stay-at-home mom.
So this was a huge part of your life. Okay, well, if I may ask, this might be hard for you to answer, but what changed?
Everything started to change. Listen, marriages are not easy. Point me to the best marriage that you can think of, and I'll point you to 10 people who have something negative to say about it. Marriages are hard work. So within our marriage, it was hard work. Where it changed, I'm not exactly sure, because Simon is the one that filed. But it mostly started to change, where I noticed it started changing, was after the show, after we started filming the show.
Wow.
I don't think it was the show's fault or anything. But, we weren't even on there like that, for the show to be the ruin of our marriage.
Right.
But, I don't know. It seems as though other things were going on that I didn't necessarily know about. So.
Girl, who you telling? Okay, it sounded like him and Porsha was screwing while the damn show was going on, and I'm taking an extra look at just her behavior, you guys. And I'm talking about Porsha's. We had the whole Bolo situation. They was wondering if she slept with him, but shit, the real question is, we should have been wondering, was she sleeping with Simon? Okay, because that's what I'm starting to see, honey. That's what it looked like. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm still kind of lost on that part. I don't necessarily have the answers.
Well, there are a few people. When I say a few people, I mean everyone is so divided when it comes to your marriage, especially with the controversy that does surround it with your husband's new engagement. But fans were speculating that you may have been cheating on Simon. So I just want to ask you, is there...
Child, bye. That's what Simon put out there. I told y'all what these narcissists do. Okay, they like to get ahead of stories. That way they don't turn out to be the damn villain. Okay, i.e. Martell Holtz. Okay, and we know he was the villain with his situation with Melody. I told y'all, I already knew what Simon was up to with putting out this story about Falynn and Jalen sleeping around. You know what I'm saying?
Any truth to that?
No, I never cheated on my husband.
Do you feel like Simon may have ever cheated on you?
Listen to this, guys.
I are not new to couples therapy. And during one of our therapy sessions, I will never forget it. I've never forgotten it, actually. The therapist had asked him, have you ever cheated on Falynn? Would you ever cheat on Falynn? She was just going down this line of, cheating and being unfaithful. And his response was only this: Simon doesn't get caught unless Simon wants to be caught.
Boom. Okay. Look at that. He's narcissistic. He's arrogant. Flat out asshole. Okay. You got this girl. Y'all know the white looking girl. I guess she's black, but hell, the bitch look white to me. I don't know what she is, but y'all know that girl I did that story on. I think her name was Jessica or something. Do you see how quickly he tried to move on with her? And I'm going to tell you something about cheaters. They move fast. Okay, if you getting a divorce from your wife, you should be taking time to heal, not to, replace her so quickly. So, as much as this situation is painful for Falynn, I'm glad that she's out of it. That way she could get away from that toxic ass Simon. Okay, because it seemed like all he wanted to do was just bring her down and corrupt her world, with his lack of values, morals, ethics. He doesn't have any of those things, you guys. Look at how he moves. I don't care how much money he got. Okay, and Porsha, a damn fool. He go do the same shit to her, and bitch, don't cry, okay? Because Miss Robinson ain't gonna feel sorry for you.
And those words have stuck with me ever since.
I bet they did.
Wow. Yeah, that would be burned into not only my heart, but my mind, too. I would always be thinking, if you go to work, are you actually at work? Where are you?
Simon got a lot of nerve with his old Ninja Turtle looking ass, old Donatello looking ass. Can't stand him. Ugh, got this beautiful woman. Why the hell would you cheat? Looking the way that you do. Child.
That can't be a comfortable feeling.
No. When it came to my marriage, like most women, I was very tenacious. I worked damn hard to keep my marriage. And,
well, you said that Simon said if Simon wants to get caught, then he'll get caught, right? But...
And so far, his ass been caught, okay?
There is speculation that if Simon was in fact cheating on you, that he may have been cheating with his new fiancée, Porsha.
You think? Because I do.
Do you think that there could be any truth to that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who I was married to.
Good answer.
I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, if you don't actually have the timeline, it makes sense.
Right.
Because you could easily come on here and come off a certain way and accuse, point fingers. That's not what you're doing. So you're just saying, I simply don't know.
Right. I don't. It all just sucks. It all just sucks. It hurts.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're not done just yet. I have a few more questions to ask you. I just want to get down to the nitty-gritty, You and Simon, you were married for 1.5 years. So when news broke of your divorce, everyone was like, no, they were only together for 1.5 years. It's not even that long. She couldn't keep her man. They were saying all kinds of things. And you're not a stranger to this. You've seen everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But for anyone who wants to know, how long were you guys actually together? Because it's not like you met on day one. Actually, at this point with his new engagement, maybe you did meet on day one and then you're engaged and, married. But how long for you and Simon were you actually together?
We were together for 5 years. We did take a 9-month break in between that time. when we got back together, he proposed twice in the course of 5 years. When we did get back together the second time, we picked up right where we left off, and we got married 3 months later. And we still had our issues to work out, but we were going to therapy, individual therapy, couples therapy. I was meditating. He was doing his own form of meditation, and I really thought that I knew my husband, and I knew where I had a plan,
Mm-hmm.
I had a plan for our family and where we were going. And, things got a little bumpy, and it wasn't the first time we experienced some bumps. And when it did, I don't know, it's just like he gave up. It's like he gave up.
Girl, be glad he did give up, because you don't want that fool in your life. It's horrible, you guys, what Simon did to her, but the more she talks, the more I'm just happy that this is over for her. Like, she can get that monster, out of her life, because he didn't mean her any good at all. Not with his actions.
I just want to point out the fact that I can always tell when you're serious, because you have one eyebrow that raises up, and you're just...
Why do people always point out my eyebrow?
Because it's great. It just shows us you're serious, and the eyebrow raises on that. You worked damn hard for your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But now, looking back, can you say, I, Falynn, in my heart of hearts, did everything that I could to save my marriage? Or do you look back and you're like, well, maybe I could have done this a little bit differently. Maybe I did this wrong.
No, I believe I did the best that I could. I did. I can go down the list of all the things that I tried, to make sure that my husband was happy and that I was happy at the same time.
Yeah, that's important too.
Right. And that the children were happy. Women, we hold a lot of responsibility. We hold a lot, and I don't even think I came up for air until Simon and I had separated.
Right. Well, that actually leads me into my next question. We know that you found out through your attorney that Simon filed in January, but was that actually the last time you spoke or even saw him?
No. In January, Simon and I were still going to couples counseling. We were, we were working on our marriage, and we went back and forth. I think I said in an interview before that we were going through our shit, we're just going back and forth, and ups, downs, and betweens. I didn't think we were on the verge of getting divorced. I was just talking to Simon maybe the day before I got the call, the night before. I had said goodnight to him. He wasn't home. He hadn't been home for about 2 months. But
wow.
I had just said goodnight to him, and we had a good conversation about working on our marriage. And the next morning, I'm having my coffee. I'm sipping my coffee, looking at the bees outside of my closet window, and I get a phone call from my attorney stating that Simon had filed for divorce.
Wow, he couldn't even tell her that? Shiesty, sneaky devil.
And we needed to discuss my prenup. I told him, I've never even looked at my prenup. I looked at it before we got married, yes, but we got married like 2 days later after I signed it. I didn't even care about the prenup. I just did it because it made Simon comfortable.
Right.
So I said, no, let me talk to Simon. What are you talking about? So he's like, it's okay, talk to Simon, take some time. And I called Simon immediately. I was distraught. I was broken.
Did he answer?
Yes, he answered. And I said, what is this about my attorney telling me that you filed for divorce? He said, oh, I filed like a month ago and I reneged on it. We're going through a rough patch, and I really thought that it was the end, and I'll call off the dogs right now. I'll call my attorney. I'll call off the dogs.
That was a red flag right there. Okay? That showed her, what Simon, was gonna do next, in my opinion, because the way he did that, he didn't even tell her about it. She got to find out through an attorney, and it's crazy.
And as to my knowledge, he did, because I didn't hear anything from my attorney. And at some point in time, I don't even remember when, I don't know. I just went through the divorce at some point.
Okay. Well, fans are also speculating that Simon and Porsha's new engagement, which again you're very aware of, but the timeline is a little off, because they said that they were together for about 1 month before he popped the question to her, and obviously you wouldn't have all of those details, and I'm not trying to, continue to throw salt in the wound, right? But for you, he filed for divorce, then he said, I'm calling off the dogs, and then from there you thought you were going to go to therapy, you took vacations together. So this seems like you were sort of in limbo for a little bit in your relationship. Mm-hmm. When did you 100% know we're going forward with the divorce?
I think after everything happened in the media, listen, there was one thing. There's a few things that I think they forget. One, it's that going through a divorce is already hard enough. Mm-hmm. 2, having to go through that divorce publicly. And then 3, for my husband to get engaged to a castmate of mine, whom I had in my home.
Swimming in your pool, girl, eating your food, smoking your hookah, honey, okay? Do you want to pay Miss Porsha a visit, honey? Okay. Look at me trying to get some shit started. But yeah, it's just low down and dirty, honey, okay, what Porsha did.
It's all of these things, and then the last thing is, the children that's involved. There's all of these different emotions and all of these different things. I can't even remember when I truly found out about us going through with the divorce. It's all just a big blur of pain. I've had to go to psychiatrist, therapist, even just taking a break from social media. Mm-hmm. I've tried to do everything. I've picked up meditation very heavily, even more than I did before. This is not something that I was prepared for to happen in my life, and not just, I know I'm strong. I know I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I'll get through it. I always do. It's just the kids.
Yeah.
Our boys.
Right.
They know exactly who this woman is. And I'm not there, to console them. I'm not.
I feel like they might be confused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there because I can't see them. And I can't hold them. God, the balls on him. Thank you.
This is obviously very tough.
Yeah. You know, us women, when we become wives, we know how to dedicate our lives to our husbands. And that's what I did. Even before we were married, he was my husband.
And those were your kids?
And they were mine.
No.
And to go from one night and them being mine and being their mommy, and now I'm just not. Like it never happened.
You know what's so ironic about this situation with Falynn? It seemed like this is how Cordell did Porsha. Remember when she found out about her divorce on Twitter? She found out he was filing on Twitter. And I remember season 6 when she was crying and breaking down over missing Cordell's son and how, you know, they had all been a family together. And it's just so weird, you know, watching all of this play out with Falynn. You know, it's like the same thing.
If we weren't in the middle of a global pandemic, I would get up and hug you right now.
It's okay, I'm wearing white.
Now, really quickly, guys, do you think Falynn looks pregnant? Some people are saying she looks pregnant. She don't really look pregnant to me.
Have you? Well, we're almost done. You mentioned earlier that Simon convinced you to join the Real Housewives of Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Do you resent the fact that he convinced you to not only join, but then is now engaged to another cast member? Would it matter if it was any other woman, or does it sting more just knowing that you had this woman in your home? She met your family. She swam in your pool. I mean, do you resent that? He convinced you to join a show, and now he's engaged to another one of the cast members.
I meant what I said, and then I took my vows. And I meant what I said when I told Simon that I loved him unconditionally. And if he's happy, then I don't care.
Oh,
I don't care how. You know, if my husband is happy, then it's okay.
wow. All right, you guys, that concludes my review of Falynn's interview that she did with the Up and Adam YouTube channel. Y'all get down in the comments. Let Miss Robinson know how you felt about this interview. Did you feel like Falynn was being very genuine and very transparent? Do you think that she's pregnant? Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.